and we're back for another one. Underground World News Live. Here on this July 20th, 2026. Good evening. Much love. Steely, Kenzo, Thomas. Thank you for the super chats right at the gate. Lowrider, I think you dropped some memberships, man. Much love. Everybody out there on all platforms, and thank you for the feedback. Thank you for sharing. For those of you out there, Karen. So, ready to go, ready to go. You got a bunch of 5x5s. Intro was a little glitchy. Voice is clear. All right. Sounding good right now from NYC. All right. Glossy, Lunix, Space Cow, Fry Guy, Tacos, MC Dirty, Miss Brady, Mock, John Boy, Tiffany. Everybody, man. Good to see everybody. Man, as always, a lot going on. I'm going to try to cover this in the next couple hours. If you got anything you want to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. Want to get my attention in the chat, you can at me at dabu77. And thank you again for sharing, for the super chats, for any coffees, and thank you for the coffees. Appreciate it to the fullest. To get things going in Paisley, says thank you to Lowrider for the membership. B Mac checking in, also from New Zealand, right? Yeah, clean from New Zealand. All right, much love, everybody. Good to see everybody checking in. It's good to know that we're reaching people out there around the world. This is the beautiful thing about this, no doubt. Even though we are heavily censored, but it's just good. It's good to be able to connect with people because we wouldn't even know each other if it wasn't for this opportunity to have the internet and to be able to connect and all these things. So I think the Most High for all that, and hope that things can only get better from here. But I'm also a realist, and I believe in the prophecy and everything else. We're coming up on wild times. They're only going to get a little crazier from here. No fear. No fear. You bought the ticket. Now we're in it on the ride, So it's game time. Jay from the Ville in the house. And Deanne, thank you for so much. Thank you for everything, all the time, for real. Some of you guys just thank you for being there in fighting the good fight. It's appreciated more than you know. Big T. All right, so you guys pretty much have all had to have heard about this whole thing about the lettuce and Taco Bell and the exploding, the whole parasitic thing that's going on here. Massive recall. This is affecting 27 states. They tried to track it back and say it was like Taco Bell, lettuce, but then they said it wasn't just Taco Bell. They tested actually the lettuce I seen earlier that came from a Taco Bell, and it did not test positive, even though they yanked the lettuce all in all because of this problem. But apparently they're tracking this back to the supplier Taylor Farms. And it's iceberg lettuce. Comes from central Mexico. And it's got this parasitic stuff all over it. And I tell you what, man, you just can't trust anything anymore. I'm not kidding. Like, I have these healthy conversations every now and then. It has to do with the food around us. And I had one today, and I believe yesterday, about the mystery meat all over the place, in every single place that you pass by. Unless it's a real good home cooking place that, like, you trust or something like that. I just don't trust nothing. I don't. I just don't. My gut, my spotty sense tells me it's not good, it's not right. Sometimes you just got to go with that. You pull up at a place, you're hungry, try to put in an order. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the whole menu. I'm finding it hard for anything to, like, be like, hey, yeah, pick me. Like, everything is like processed crap and mystery meat is what I call it. I don't trust none of it, but try to get your meat the best you can from a local source and a trusted source. Obviously, um, it's not always possible, but a recall nonetheless here. If you guys got lettuce in there from Taylor Farms, iceberg lettuce, pitch it, and we'll see if that's the case. We'll see if this thing keeps up or dies down. Now, I want to jump into an update here on the Venezuela earthquake, because you know how news goes these days. It happens and then it's off to the next headline. And people just are quick to forget about these big disasters. This was a big one. And I feel there was something more to it as well. I just do. The whole setup, the whole situation. And I'm going to play a clip that we didn't see before. Maybe you've seen it, but I haven't seen this one. It's from a distance. It's just right when the quake strikes. It's 28 seconds. But man, the entire city ends up just like a big pile of dust. And it's really sad here. This did worse damage than a bombing campaign. It sure did. It sure did, without the flak. You see? Without the repercussions or the blowback of a military campaign. Although it feels like this was a military campaign. Every bit of it has, from the red lightning to the boat sitting right on top of the fault line, the Amazon Warrior unknown earthquake vessel sitting right there on the fault line, feeding into it, which all it had to do was just hit that fault like a tuning fork, like ding, and reverbed all that energy right on down to where it hit, specifically where it dead ended, right there in Caracas. It was a setup. I'm sure when somebody realized this and they knew the technology that they had, that this is one that they've been waiting to do. Now, this exposes what the socialist kind of mentality will do to your cities. Things won't get done right, and they'll get done in a non-safe way. Just put it that way. And a ton of these buildings, you wonder why they all pancaked and toppled over. It's because you could just reach out and chip them away with your hand. If that's not safe, it's a setup, it's a disaster. Man, there's still 50,000 people missing. Stop and let that sink in for a second. 50,000, 5,000 officially declared dead. 50,000 bodies in the rubble. It's as heartbreaking as it gets. But our mainstream media not talking about nothing. They're not saying anything. They moved on. We're in the midst of a known military operation with this country. That's why I'm saying something's off about the whole thing. But what they did expose here was this. Play this clip so you can see.
Es anime, weón, es anime. Las columnas, esta mierda gobierno maldito.
It's crumbling.
¿ves? Aquí. O
That
sea, van a caer, mira.
there's no
O sea,
rebar in that.
y por aquí le ponen medio cemento. Pero está relleno de anime.
Pues anime, mamá huevo, puro anime.
Mira,
You
puro
know,
anime.
it's like styrofoam type stuff.
Maldito, dale. Por razón se cayó toda esta mierda, mío.
Sí, por esto me la dio para ayudar, chamo, vaya, sí, siempre.
Claro, ¿ah? Así, ¿lo ves? Todos aquí loco, el mío, yo, con razón, toda esta mierda así.
Prayers going out to all the people out there. I mean, I doubt that there's going to be anyone pulled alive out of any of this at this point. It's been so long. Um, it's just dead body after dead body, and they have to go through this, by hand. So it's a horrendous thing. It's a horrendous thing that most people don't think about. They ignore the whole situation. If they had to go through this, buildings crumbled, people missing inside them still, and like the smell of dead bodies everywhere, but somebody has to go and do it. Somebody has to go and do what no one else will do. Salutes to all those type of people around the world. Those are true heroes that don't make the news, that don't get seen. And much love, Gabriel. I appreciate that coffee and the kind words. Appreciate it to the fullest. So again, prayers going out to everyone in Venezuela. They need it. Now, this time of year, it's no joke. The wild animals are something else. And like, I see signs of so many different types out here where I'm at. It's nuts. I've even been here live on the stream here in the past couple months and looked at the window and seen a bear coming right up the driveway right at me. And he heard me. And he stopped and turned and went the other way. Big old black bear. Nonetheless, this clip is of a grizzly. This is in Alaska. It's on a trail. And you talk about freaked out. These people did everything right. Freaking out and nervous, crazy energy only provokes a nervous, crazy response. Now, if they're coming, they're charging like pretty aggressive. You've got like a couple seconds to make a choice of what you're going to do. And they say, and I've even seen the clips where a grizzly has charged across a waterway at a whole group of people. And they all just stood their ground and yelled, and it charged right up to within like 15 feet or so of them and forked off to the side and then went off on its own way. And even seen another clip where one was coming up and they just kept telling this bear, get back, being very vocal. And finally it left him alone. That was a black bear, but this is a grizzly. And you can see here how freaked out these people are.
Let you pass by. Come on, Tony, move up.
Wow.
Hey there.
You okay?
Yeah, if I stay here, I'll be all right.
We're all okay.
Yep, well, we're doing good.
We're all fine.
Hey, bear.
Yep, everybody talk. There we go.
There
Hey,
you go.
bear.
Good bear.
Whoop.
Okay, we're all good.
Everybody keep talking.
Hey, bear.
Hi, bear.
Hey, bear.
It's nice to see you, bear. Good bear.
Thank you, bear.
Hey, bears. Oh, bear. Oh, bear. I don't think we have a spot to back off the trail. Back up a little bit.
Hello, bear.
Yeah.
Hello, bear. Hello, bear. Hey, bear.
I mean, are you going to keep it that calm and collected? I mean, you have to for survival purposes. Then you can carry bear spray, and whatever else to protect yourself. But oftentimes, I mean, bears are just kind of curious. We've seen, and you don't want to go feeding them. That's for sure. I had an encounter with a bear in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, after the fires a few years back, and the fires displaced a lot of the wildlife, and we were staying at the spot and taking everything inside. Just got there, and I walked out on the second story deck, and I looked down, and right there at the car, the door's still open, is a small or medium sized bear, juvenile, curious. And I went running inside to grab the camera so I could film it, and I did. I got pictures of it. But when I took off running inside, it tried to chase. It took off like trying to chase. It was crazy, crazy moment. I was glad I was up on the second story inside, but he's all looking. Finally, he left. I got to get everything out of the car, but yeah, man, you never know when you're out there in the mountains. That's their turf too, you know what I'm saying? So let's go to space. We've got a couple sunspots turned toward our way, and we've got the announcement that Starship 13 in its launch was delayed. I can't wait to get in a position where I can watch these launches and like track them as far as possible with the telescope to see if they're going into subspace or if they're doing something else. There's only one way to find out, really. I can't wait to be able to do that. And they're saying a meteor storm is coming. Peak is 300 years away. Why they mention it, I have no idea. So we're going to go to the next one. And this is an alert from NASA warning that scientists, even though I cannot trust NASA and don't trust NASA for nothing, it's never a straight answer with them, the acronym. But they're saying the scientists are understating a worst case solar storm scenario. And I would say, no, we're not. Like, we know what can go down here. And as we always say, when the grid goes down, you better be ready. But they're saying, they're trying to put an emphasis on this, that they feel basically like it doesn't have to be a Carrington type of X20 plus. It can be a cannibal CME, which is multiple CMEs. When we've seen several here as of late, they come in together and they hit the planet at the same time. And those are almost unpredictable. And if you have the right setup can come in and it can take down a grid. And we know they're looking to reset the grid in many different places. But I just wanted to point it out. We're always talking about the possibility of the grid getting hit. Several different ways it can go down. The sun's one. And I don't know. Whenever they don't say it much. So whenever they come out and they're putting an emphasis on it, it's like, they're actually saying something. You know, the sun, we're at the top of the solar cycle. Solar cycle 25. You know, anything can happen at this point. So I'll update if we see any activity. Right now, we've got a tropical threat, though, that has emerged in the Gulf of America. And still taking me a while to get used to saying that. But and thank you, Retro. If sometimes these hurricanes are nothing to worry about, with these tropical storms, sometimes they are. Sometimes they're engineered and you don't see what's coming. This one is heading in toward New Orleans, and I can't help but think, it sets in a bowl under sea level. It doesn't have to be a hurricane. This can be just something that dumps a ton of water. And if it fills that bowl, New Orleans got a problem. And we've seen this many times in the past. Houston is the same way. We've seen Houston flooded out from a hurricane. But this is moving in, this Invest 91L And one other thing I want to point out that most people probably just pay no attention to is the fact that our oil rigs are sitting right here. Like a majority of them, a whole slew of them right here. It's literally rolling right up on them. And that's kind of suspect to me. Just because we'll wait and we'll see what kind of damage it does and what's going on here. But, you got our refineries and all this stuff right there in the crosshair. Of course, we don't know exactly what track it's going to take, but let me go up north here real quick. Maybe you guys got a taste of the wildfires. They're actually putting sanctions out or talking about it here and freezing assets out of Canada because of this. And man, I went back and forth with video. It's going to put out a video on footage of these fires firing up at the same time. They do, and it's in a line. And the only thing is I tried to go back because I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's really going on. And I look at the lightning patterns, and yes, the lightning was getting set off around there, but it was way more widespread. Of what the lightning wasn't coming off in a direct line like that. It's kind of all over the place. So to see these fires get kicked up in a direct line, it just kind of raised some eyebrows. It was kind of suspicious. And there's a lot. There's a ton. And I don't know how you're going to prove anything one way or another, but it was suspect. But, there's a lot burning up there, a ton. And it gets toxic so bad that like Detroit, Michigan, parts of Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, they were under severe alerts because of this.
Well, and we were in Washington, and I was leaving very early this morning, and you could see the news feeds of the Lincoln Memorial looking toward the Capitol, except you can't see the Washington Monument. There's no Washington Monument. It's just a cloud of smoke. And you're thinking, who knows what kind of damage this is going to do to vulnerable lungs and people who have no alternative but to work outside. So there's a real health issue. There's an entertainment, recreation issue, and a business losses. Clear business losses.
Yeah, let me put this in perspective, Laura. If you took every automobile in America off the road for 1 year, we had no cars, no trucks for an entire year, that's about the amount of pollution that is happening during this 2 or 3 week period of time, and it's being dumped onto primarily the Midwest. And when I hear politicians like Carney and Ford say that we should help when they could have avoided this problem, it's disgusting. We're going to put sanctions on them. That means holding their assets, making certain that they don't have visas. We're going to put tariffs, as President Trump talked about it, because we have to make certain that the people who are suffering get compensated. This is an abject, avoidable disaster. And the left, who, by the way, talks about climate change every single day, this is the worst environmental disaster you could ever imagine. Every car in America for a year, pollution in 3 weeks dumped on the Midwest.
Well, I want to point out, look right here. I'm just going to put this in motion. I'm putting the model in motion here. The model shows that this whole thing, this is what right here we just went through. And you can see it's circling, like more is about to come down in this area, all up in here. This is not over with. If you thought all moved out of here, Buffalo, so to speak, Pittsburgh, because it's clear skies right now, you've got a huge blob coming behind it. So this is I don't know, it doesn't make me happy. I mean, I could look outside and see the haziness yesterday, the day before, but it missed us. But man, all these other areas that you can see lit, they have major warnings. Look, when I cover air quality, we're usually talking like standard between 0 and 500. Like that's all we've ever talked about because that's all it's ever been reported. But out of this, all of a sudden they were showing 600, 700 readings, and it's like, hold on a second, did you just make this up? Like, the scale never went that high before. Well, apparently it is now. That's alarming to me. To where, I mean, it's top of the scale to where new bracket territory. Extremely hazardous. Like no one needs to be out in it. It will affect anyone and everyone. I mean, if you were up there and you're seeing this, I mean, you know. I feel bad for anyone that's got to go out in it because you kind of have no choice if you got to travel. There's got to be some kind of remedy or something. Now, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you got it, man. Pixie in the house. And Quantum, thank you for that. Oh, man. I hope you can overcome. Hope the Lord can heal you up or get you better in your battle there with diabetes. Man, much love. God bless. On with this weather, because it's a weapon. And Europe has got cooked big time. France just like melting records. Germany, France, everything record breaking temps. And it's becoming a crisis, an energy crisis. And I want to point out some things here that I don't think many people like realize when it comes to this stuff. When it gets hot, I mean, they were seeing like $130 Fahrenheit out there again. Just insane temperatures. But when the river, that's right, the river running outside, when that temperature rises so high that it no longer serves its purpose as like cooling things, you've got a major problem. Okay? Any place that's nuclear power plants, all that, anything that takes in water to cool the place down, that doesn't work anymore. So everything has to get shut down. That's a tricky challenge right there. Yeah, because they were putting their eggs in the nuclear basket or this and that, but you know, when you get too hot, like this situation, nuclear even becomes, you know, what they thought was untouchable, nuclear, it becomes a problem. And we've seen this many times. When it comes to nuclear sites, that they're not, you know, untouchable, that they can have issues. We've seen here in this country, it was maybe about a decade ago. We had one of the sites getting flooded out, one of the rivers here in the U.S., and it was almost a crisis. Anyhow, the weather isn't, it's not going to abate much, I don't think. I think they're going to keep on with the pressure. And with this El Nino that's spun up, it's there now, and it's already affecting things. They can just draw from that. And the crazy thing is like, with that big blob of energy there, it's hurricane season, and any system could just tap in to the edge of that El Nino and get its life, get sprung up. And once you hit the Gulf waters, those warm waters, man, I mean, that's why we always see these hurricanes coming through. And I can't help but I gotta say this: if you've never seen the movie The Truman Show, Go watch it. It's got Jim Carrey. It's old. It's an older movie. Um, just watch it and keep an open mind. And I think you're going to quickly realize that someone's trying to tell you something in that movie. And it's filmed in Seaside, Florida, which is on the Gulf, the Emerald Coast there, right outside where the system's brewing up and where all these refineries have spots set up, all the oil rigs. So I'll update if we see any craziness outside of that. But let me add to this. Before I go, the whole grid, when the grid goes down, you better be ready. I say it all the time. They're talking about blackouts. I'm talking about it more and more. Like, people were like bringing this up in conversation, and it's getting announced in certain towns. And like, I'm hearing from people that like between certain hours of like 5 and 9 their time, they can't like be using a whole lot of power. So like restricted. That's nuts. Like, it's happening right now. And like, I really don't even feel like the worst is upon us. So like, when the worst really gets rolled out here, like, we're to me, I've just come to realize that like, no matter where I'm at from here in this life, the best I can, I would always try to have some kind of solar system incorporated into your house. Because I'm just telling you, man, when they start doing these rolling blackouts and everything else, and everyone's sitting like in the dark, I'm not talking brownouts, blackouts. Okay? I'm not talking conserving through peak hours. I'm talking blackouts, man, like where you're like blacked out. We've seen in the past in California, where people were sitting there like with nothing for several hours, and they had solar panels on the roof. And that was just the most, it drove me crazy, because you defeated the purpose. But all those people sitting in the dark with solar panels, they got fooled by the government, and they took the government subsidy, and they went through the government program, and they got everything tied into the grid and all this other stuff, which is not the way that you want to do it. You want to have it to where if the grid goes down, you can flip a switch and you could still be using your solar. All you really need is a battery bank at that point to hold your energy. That's it. Look, it's better than sitting in the dark. Having some backup power on a battery bank, and even though you may not be able to use everything in the house, you could still keep, I don't know, save all the food in the freaking fridge. I don't know how they expect people to do this. Put full blown blackouts, and like, that's why they do it for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, because they figure that people, if they keep their fridges shut and everything like they're supposed to, that everything will keep for that little window, and then they'll fire everything back up. But man, this is a dangerous game. If you find yourself in this, I really look, more and more people I know have started to realize that, I don't know, maybe the past couple harsh winters and the ice storms and everything else they threw at us, that survival wise, the better odds are going to be in the southern type of climate. We're getting less of all that. But not the desert. I don't know how you're going to do it. Arid, all that, I don't know how you're going to do it. Any place where they don't allow you to catch water, I don't know how you're going to do it. I'm not hating. I'm not trying to cap. I'm not trying to piss anyone off, but I just don't know how you're going to do it realistically. I mean, you're breaking the law just catching water. I mean, that right there is garbage and pisses me off. But there's people out there that I know that, I mean, they have to live under these rules, and it just the environment's changing. It's out west is drying up, man. I look at everything from, really everything around the Colorado River that comes from out of Colorado, right? Which it should be rightfully Colorado's if you think about it there. But everybody depends on that from Nevada, Arizona, California. Everyone is trying to tap into that, especially Cali, acting like they got more rights than anyone on that water when everything's drying up. And I don't know, man. Remember, this past year we had a very small snowpack. So that equates to low water, and we're seeing that. In a righteous world, we wouldn't have to worry about none of this. Good people would make sure that all the things were done to never get into this position. But they control you like this. Remember, JP Morgan Chase went to Tesla and was like, no, we're not doing this. We're going to put a meter and charge everybody, every house in America can get rich off of it, and we're going to make them slaves to the power grid. Do you know that, right? You know that, right? Remember that, right? Like, it should piss you off. Like, I'm not going to be your slave. And, like, independence, breaking free of that is a big flipping the bird to them. Not to mention, it's a huge, once you go off grid, it's what you're going to save in money there is like, it's huge. If for anyone that wants any information on that off grid, you just let me know. Email me dapu7@yahoo.com, or you can ask the question, get my attention there, and I'll answer the best I can. But yeah, man, where we're at top of midsummer here. Yeah, they've thrown some heat at us. I'm going to move out of that, and I'm going to move into, well, I don't keep up with the sports all that much. I do with some things that and the occult stuff, the halftime show stuff, like, but just because it's all so rigged. And I've never really followed soccer, but hey, a bunch of you guys do, and or whatnot, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with liking a sport and this and that, but I know the dark side of all of everything, so it's just like, it's also rigged. But this image is showing Messi crying, and because they lost, and so much money was wagered because it was pushed that way, psychologically, in the minds of all the masses and all the media. I could just tell from the clips. I'm not even into it. I could just tell by the clips I viewed in strolling through the feed every day and seeing the clips and seeing the subliminals and everything. This man was put out there in front of all of them, going for this record, going for that, and unbeatable, untouchable, this story, that story, just all over the place. And for anyone that doesn't know soccer, like, they let you know, like, this is the king of soccer is how they're putting it out there. And like, he's unbeatable, unstoppable. So you got all these people that might have been on the fence going to throw some money on this guy, and the bet showed, and they lost it. And that's how the industry works. It's all a big sway of money. But this is not even about that. This is about gas prices. They are crossing the politically sensitive $4 again. That's not even really, we were talking about the $5 region. But why is this happening? It's because everything's falling apart. I'm not sure who's running the evening news these days, what pundits or whatever, but I'm not sure what they're saying in terms of all this, but it's clear. It's not hidden at this point. There is an issue with the gas going through the roof. And see, Trump has only so much power and sway in doing these things. A lot of things he does with threats. He threatened everybody and said, drop your gas to $2.50. And they put out these gas stations called these Freedom gas stations. It was crazy. In like Philly and Baltimore or something. And they were trying to convince everyone else to sell their gas at 250. And like that wasn't going to work. If you weren't by law forcing these guys to do something with jail time over their head, executive order, all this, which apparently Trump could not do or did not do, take a pick. He just kind of threatened them. Well, now we're back up to 4, and I'm going to tell you, we are in the worst shape you could have ever imagined. Everyone's been blinded by the soccer tournament and this and by rigged prices. So remember, you've been living in an illusion. He did this with several things. He went and he said, you got to keep your prices here. Got to keep your prices here. You got to deal with the meat people over the cattle and all that I told you about. Before that, I did that with the eggs. And the gas is a huge one. These are staples, main things out there. And when they snap back to reality, if you think $4 a gallon's crazy, well, what if the global average right now is like 6 something, and you've already separated yourself by a couple bucks, and like you've got to snap back to reality at some point. It's gonna be bad. Reaper finally free after 4 years. Oh my, what? Welcome back. I'm just glad you're breathing, man. We lose so many, man, that have exited the life. And Reaper, man, much love. But yeah, if you guys see this continue, it's not a surprise. I'm not going to ask for gas prices out there because I have before. I'm going to keep it pushing here. I want to point this out. I want people to really see, like, we are burning through all the buffers. That's what the title says, and that's what's happening. Oil traders are now warning that we're on fumes. Like, we've burned through all the buffers that we've had. Everything. Absolutely everything. It's all gone now. All gone. The price on diesel, I told you, went through the roof over in Russia and everywhere else. We are at straight up war right now, tonight, right this very minute. There ain't nothing with Hormuz. They're about to shut down the other strait, the other waterway. This is the Persian Gulf. Okay, that's the Strait of Hormuz here, Persian Gulf. The Red Sea is on the other side of Saudi Arabia, and it's the only other big waterway to get any goods into the whole freaking Middle East without having to go all the way around Africa. Okay, so Houthis control that, and it's called the Strait of Tears. In the Strait of Tears for a reason, I'm gonna tell you, because when they shut this down, it's gonna cause some tears. Let me tell you, they will effectively have shut down both routes, and you're talking months now for Hormuz. And Iran knows this. They know that the time thing has been on their side. They are in one of the most rugged territories you could ever imagine out there. That Trump and his minions are trying to whack them all, to bomb them in their mountain spots. And I'll be honest, we're depleting high grade, expensive resources at a higher pace than what they intended. And they're losing. There's no way out. Trump, I thought, had a chance here this last time when they exchanged blows. Israel got hit, Iran got hit, Kuwait got hit. We took some shots. There was a chance to just call quits right there and like save faith. Just who cares what anyone says? Just let the strait open back up and try to be diplomatic about it. But here seems to be the problem. And Trump is very agitated about this. He come out and he was pissed. And he says, you can't trust these people. They're insane. We'll sit in there and we'll have a deal with them. And they'll walk out and they'll tell the cameras and reporters that there's no deal. And like they're playing him. And he can't stand to be played back. And they don't care at this point. You've murdered their leaders. Everything else, they do not care at this point. They come out and they say Trump's a liar. And he's saying this. He's very affected by it. This is making him look like crap. It really is. Everything about it, from him being BB's bitch to not running the free world. Everybody knows the guys with the black cubes on the heads are running the show at this point, and that we're sold out. This country's sold out, straight up. It's whatever they say. We shouldn't even been in this war. And Israel's just been sitting on the back burner this whole time. Since the last time we exchanged blows, they've just been sitting there waiting, saying, "Oh, we're ready to go now." So the U.S. has got some new hypersonic that they're ready to use. They still have not got to upgrade to the Patriot battery system, which is the defense missile system. It sucks. It gets hammered by hypersonics in Ukraine. It got hammered in Israel. And they absolutely bypassed them. Went right past them. Because you're never going to stop a hypersonic with a regular missile. It's never going to happen. Unless you get lucky once or twice. That's it. So they have to go to laser. And the problem with laser is they're finding is Israel rolled out their laser weapon to try to shoot these things down, but it has to be built like a railgun. It has to shoot the laser almost like a bullet, like in tracks. Because if not, your only other option is to shoot one huge beam out into the middle of anywhere, and anything beyond that gets smoked. It does. It could be a bird, a plane, a satellite, whatever. Anything beyond it. That's the danger, but that's almost your only option. And you got to get ahead of the hypersonic, like right ahead of it. You got to track it up in the subspace. Right when it turns the corner and starts to come down, you got to get ahead of it and be shooting your lasers right up through there to hit it and try to get it on its way down. And either you do or you don't. But let me tell you something. They have been rocking us. And I'll get to all that in the war section here in a minute. But it's very important because, dude, we're not going back to normal life ever again. This is part of a global reset. I'm going to warn you. I would get prepared. Things are going to start to shoot up from here because they're going to find their footing. They're going to go be to where they really should have been, and that's going to create panic. You can't live in a false reality forever. In the rest of the world, prices are not coming down. They can't come down because the goods are not flowing. Nothing is fixed. And not to mention, Russia and China they've put pressure on the whole thing by cutting off certain goods from being shipped around the world. That the other side knows what they're doing, and they've blasted us. In Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, we're taking deaths, man. Like, this is no joke. It's escalated to a point to where there's no turning back. You better get ready for war. Drop the song on it, just like when the grid goes down. I take both serious right now. So I've been telling you, Cushing or tank bottoms. Well, like the oil traders, like, dude, there's nothing left. Like, what are they doing? And you just imagine if a hurricane wrecks our stuff down there right now. Just saying. Let's jump into property foreclosures because this has been another setup. More than 227,000 property foreclosure filings in the first half of this year. That is insane. The first half foreclosure filings are also up by 28% from the same period 2 years back. Oh, man. In states with a minimum of 500 foreclosure filings, Idaho registered the largest year-over-year increase, 59%. This was closely followed by Colorado with 57%, Georgia 52%, and North Carolina with 47%. And if you missed it on the last stream, North Carolina gave the green light to let Flock be put up on all their major highways, and I'm boycotting them. You won't see me in that state until that is done. I won't be spending money there, doing anything there, because it was only on back roads and side roads like it is in most places. They try to keep them off the main highways because of all the arguments. But just letting you know, North Carolina, everywhere. So, like, yeah. I was actually sitting there, like, thinking, I was I ain't even talk about it. It's wrecked. The whole game's wrecked. Whole game's wrecked. Look at the next one. This says it right here. 30-year fixed rate mortgage hits the highest level in about a year. This is after Warsh just came out and said, "Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. We do everything we can to make sure that people can buy a home." As I told you in one of the other shows, that's not going to happen for like the next year into 2027. That's it. The whole thing don't collapse. This is a buying opportunity, though. When houses are pulling back and they're slashing prices everywhere because there's so much saturation. There's houses everywhere for sale. Like markets like Florida, another example. Houses in like Cape Coral, places like that. Everywhere for sale. So people just keep dropping a price, trying to undercut the guy down the street that might have a fancier pull or have this or that to try to get their house sold. And it opens up a door for a buyer time here. Problem is the buyer is looking for a loan, right? And right now it's at 6.5%. So people want to see that drop. They are projecting that it will pull back within this next year. So from what I see, hopefully there's a window here. I'd make your move. I because I don't see it getting better after that, and they even admit that. They say, you better make a move like in the next year or so. We don't know what's going to happen after that. Like, get to where you want to go, settle in, and like, that's it. So what I'm saying here is it's going to present an opportunity for sure, depending on the area. And if you got cash or not. Maybe worth if you got a property or a house here or there. Sell some things to, I don't know. Some of these windows only happen once. Like once in a long time. But we've got buyers trading in vehicles that have negative equity at like a record high. So people are showing up left and right underwater and trying to trade in all over the place. They're saying it's a bad sign of the times, bad sign of where we sit. I hate it, man. I just hate to see that this country is getting wrecked so bad. And really, it seems like Trump was the man brought into it. He's on video saying that. Like right when he first got in the second time. Saying, yeah, it's why they brought him in. And saying all this for the reset, to reset everything. That's when I found out about the Mar-a-Lago Accord and then Warsh. And now we're in it. We're in the window. Like everything is sitting there. They just need a big event to hold the money hostage to switch everybody over. That's on the financial side. Let me take you into the food. The food cost explosion. So this speaks for itself, but it's different everywhere you go. People in different areas pay different prices for different things. Just the way it is, it fluctuates, but we're going to talk on average here. But this story in itself speaks loudly. 28 items on an order from Target in 2020, right when they started to lock us down. $64. In 2026, the exact same items will run you $158. I mean, it's just more than 2x more. That's way more than that. I mean, dude, you're just a handful of dollars away from being $100 more for just a basket of goods. A basket of goods. $64.50 then. It's a $158.30 on average. A basket of goods. This is crazy. So I know you all got your own horror stories at your local wherever, because again, gas may be cheap in your neck of the woods, but something else is through the roof. You know, people that got it really bad, they're seeing a combination of these things. They're seeing everything come to a head, so to speak. And it says here, diesel, which shows up in customer shipping cost, tops $5 a gallon again for the first time in 3 weeks. So we're north of 5 on that. And just if this is something you're going to need, I'd keep a close eye on it, because I don't know what else to say besides the situation we're in, and like we're at tank bottoms. The traders are calling this out, as I showed you. You can only get so far with the illusion on prices, and then when there's nothing to be had, you can't ration something that's not there. So it's like not even rationing. I don't know. Some people just think everything will always be there. Oh, you got to go to the grocery store to get food, right? Most people. You got to go somewhere to get it unless you're growing everything. Or when your local grocery stores start playing the game of the beast here and tracking you and pretty much flocking you, like something's got to give. But that's what's happening in California. We've got a grocery outlet that is saying because people are stealing from them, they're fighting back with technology. So you see what this does, because you don't want to hire a security guard to work the door or the camera and actually watch, make sure someone's not stealing this and that. They want to implement good old facial recognition, tracking, the whole nine. And their excuse is that they'll know then who's coming through the door. If they're a repeat offender or suspected of anything, all the stuff. And other people say they do not like this one bit. Most people, they do not like it, but the company doesn't care. Kim and House, how much love. I don't know. How do you think? How do you think this is going to go down in your town? Is it in your town? I mean, how would you feel walking in and seeing this? I already don't like I walked, where was it? I went to a Lowe's and I was walking down the aisle and just going down multiple aisles, going up and down, trying to find something. And I look up and boom, there I am on a screen right in front of my face. I'm like, what? What? And I look up, and there I am again on this bigger screen. And I realize there's cameras and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. Oh no. They just put it right there. And I'm like, okay. And I just felt like I was scanned 100%. And it pissed me off. And this whole thing reminds me of it. And I'll start boycotting places straight up. And I tell them straight up too before I do. Look, this is the reason why. Just like the flock camera out in your parking lot, it shouldn't be there. And all that. We'll be here past top of the hour. I want to welcome everybody here sliding in top of the hour. Yep, we're back at the old time. Kicking off at 9 o'clock. And that's where we're going to be from here on out, foreseeable future. Just so everybody knows. Still Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I appreciate everyone out there that shares the stream. Everyone that has supported the stream. All appreciate it to the fullest. Going to switch gears here and jump into the AI and the robots and the humanoids. And this story here is talking about they're amongst us. Just like they say, the aliens, reptiles, the fallens, whatever, they're amongst us, shapeshifters, the tears. Well, this story talks about how there was this big old meeting with different people that came to this assembly, and the people that were there all witnessed something similar to what they're showing in this image. And it wasn't even like this. It looked like real humans inside of the display. Like there was no metal to be seen. Like everything looked 100% like a real human. And all the people sitting there looking were like, hold on, like you're telling me this is a robot. And the creepy thing about the whole thing was that it was so human like, the people said, and that like their eyes would be fixed on you, like watching you. And like if you moved, the eyes would move and blink. And like if it's a real person sitting there like watching you, like you move around the room, like he would look at you, he could look somewhere else, and like they're like, are you sure that's a robot, not a human? And they're acting like a robot. They're like, no, that is a robot, a humanoid, and that's the scary part. And I will venture to say that this was just to wake people up, but there was probably a couple, there might have been one or two right there standing with them, amongst them. That's the whole story of the whole thing. They are amongst us, looking so real already that you can't tell the difference. Maybe it wants to malfunction, or freak, some freak accident. But just saying, man. Another thing you have to worry about, you don't know if it's even a real person. If you're starting to have some doubts or something, man, there's gonna have to be. I'm gonna sit back and think about this. There's gonna have to always be a way to tell. I know. Here we go. Just carry a magnet with you. If you suspect that somebody is not a real human and they're a human, they're a robot, just hit them with the magnet one time. And you're gonna know real quick. Problem solved. Problem solved. You can hide all that metal with fake flesh, but you can't hide all that metal. Feel me? So, and Drunken Dow, man, sliding in with them coffees. I appreciate that. That alert's always off, so I never know. Good to see you, man. Another one. Glad to see you're still out there, breathing, along with the Reaper Vision. Again, much love for the coffees, y'all. Now, this brings me to flock. And they shouldn't be flocking the people. They should be flocking the government. These systems are unconstitutional in so many ways, and tracking and all that. Every single show, I have a story that shows that either cops have been busted by misusing it, misusing the database, tracking people in a creepy way, doing illegal stuff with it. So it's opened the door for that left and right. And then it's like, it's wrong all the time. And as this one shows, Flock defends their cameras after the AI system triggered wrongful police stops of 2 journalists. So they have already journalists can target it, going through an area and like, intimidate them, do this and that, whatever, mess with them. It's happening, right? It's happening. You've got to pay attention now. Everybody does. Where you're going. If you're traveling, going anywhere, you've got to pull up dflock.com, whatever it is. I've showed it before. There's a site, and just pull it up, and they'll show you where every known camera is. And if you know of one that's not on there, you can tell them, and they'll list it. And you can map out where you're going, and you can at least know where the flock cameras are when you're heading into a territory. I'd rather know than not. I'd rather do my research. If you could know than not know, why go into some blind. I mean, they're everywhere. I've showed you like places like Dallas and Texas, inundated. It's sickening. Other cities have, and this really comes down to a city thing at this point. They've done away with it. They said we're not doing it. Even places that had them, they said that guess what, we're not going to renew it. And these types of situations keep showing up. And I showed the lady had a guy show up at her door, blaming her, saying that she's packaged and all this and all this. Here's another one right here.
Yeah, it hit on our license plate readers the other day too. So.
You serious? So what happened?
So from
a couple days ago.
So from my understanding, New Jersey had reported that this license plate had been stolen from a dealership. Okay. So that's why Flock has been reading it because it's popping up as a stolen plate. Okay.
Got it. So this was picked up somewhere by Flock.
Yep.
When? Do you know?
Well, it was picked up when you were driving somewhere into this area.
Today?
Yep.
But you said a couple days ago it was
flagged. And then a couple days ago, I remember I was trying to find it when you were coming over 494 in that
shit.
Camera was.
Yeah.
So basically, there are cameras that read my license plate now twice in the last couple of days, and it picked up and flagged it for the cops. You guys been searching for this car. Unreal.
But you'd be surprised. You'd think so. Probably the only Range Rover you see, right?
Sure. It's not a common car.
No. Yep. Right?
Yeah.
I get it 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Maybe yesterday. I don't know. My days are kind of blurring right now.
Yeah, I get it.
But I can't tell you how many freaking one of these I've seen in the last couple days when I was searching for this.
You seen a lot all of a sudden?
Yeah.
You guys hit off the Flock camera pulling in here.
Okay.
But we do run it just to confirm, and we did that, and it is showing up as stolen.
Huh.
I mean, are you kidding me? You're just trying to go to the freaking store. Look, I'm going to tell you. Like, me and some cats have talked about this many times in the past because you can see a setup. It's even happened here recently. Hoodie Ross was telling me, he was in a store and he's like, look at these cops. And like, he sees the cops and like pulls out, like they follow him, they're on him. And like, he knew beforehand they were like targeting him. And, it's like all you got to do is pull in somewhere and the camera. They don't have to run the plate. The camera already does it. That's the crazy part. It's where we're at with this. You pull in and it runs your tags, and maybe it runs tags that you just got pulled over recently for no insurance, like just the other day, and that you didn't have no license. And guess what? Before you even get out of the store, they know this. And they're sitting there watching you. And when you walk out and you hop into the vehicle and you go to take off, they're on you. It's over right there. You'd be lucky. They could, if they already, they're probably they're going to wait till you walk out and get into a vehicle, so they are to say no, for sure. All right, that's the person. Yeah, man. This is like, it's wrong all the time. It's like not even correct, right? So now this one says that this $1 billion surveillance machine is caught sharing your data with the feds. Well, duh. This is Palantir running this whole thing. Well, look at this. These are brand new, disguised, automated license plate readers. These are the cameras in Arizona. Large yellow plastic barrels. They're the camouflaged housing design. It's all right. It's designed to look like construction equipment. Like, is that what Arizona's construction barrels look like? Like everywhere I've been all across this country, always orange barrels, same ones. So they're putting these yellow things with cameras out in the desert along the highways. It's not very camouflage, if you ask me. Then if they're going to put them out there, then let them stick out like a sore thumb. It's better than them hiding it in a cactus, because you would never figure it out. And trust me, they're doing that too. This is just the newest thing, though. Out in the open. Here you go. I'll run a clip here. Line it up here again. I see this. If you guys see anything like this in your neck of the woods, let me know in the chat. Send me images, tag me, pictures, and all this stuff. Do a story on it.
Explain to me what this is. I was just driving and I noticed this camera staring at me. There's a camera poking on both sides. You're not slick. What is this, Arizona? Explain to me. And there's a cable going on the backside. Runs up here and just goes off in the distance.
Oh yeah, it's getting the plates from the front and the back. Without a doubt. This flock stuff is crazy. If you missed it, here's the again. This is important when people need to see this. This was in Colorado. A guy come up and said,
everywhere in that town, you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
Chrisana Elzer learned the power of flock firsthand.
You were in town from 11:52 until 12:09. Exactly.
Crazy.
Like I said, nothing gets in or out of the town without us knowing.
When a Colorado police officer showed up at her door holding flock snapshots of her truck.
And here's when you left at 12:09. That's when you left town.
To get.
No, to stop at Ridge Trail.
Wait a minute.
And take a package. Well, there's no shushing. I don't need to be.
I need to know where this is.
The first thing he pulled out on the body cam is that flock picture, the clear photograph of your car.
But here's your vehicle in the neighborhood many, many times, apparently casing houses, because you just can't drive through for work or visit other businesses. You can only be casing houses.
It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure. 100%. It is certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to court.
Chrisana was charged with stealing a package, but it wasn't her. The porch pirate was somebody else. Multiple times you tried to show him your video evidence. He didn't want to see it.
No, even when I called him back, he said, that's not my job.
because he knew it was smoked. People need to see these stories, man. Here's another.
You're saying Flock does not track people, correct?
Track people, that's right. And hold their movements like you asked.
He's a
We're not
liar.
tracking
Look at
people.
his body language.
Well, what do the Condor cameras do? They literally are designed to track a person, aren't they?
Not to track a person, no.
Oh,
This is a Flock camera known as a Condor. Unlike the Falcon license plate reader camera, you'll notice this does track the movements of people.
Sure
Whether or
does.
not it
He
was
just
designed to
lied about it.
specifically track a person, you can see right now, in real time, no matter which way I move, the camera moves with me.
And that's not all that those cameras do, by the way. We've seen how they can even track your...
I can't stand this shill. Anyhow. Yeah, well, on to this next one. This is a positive for all the towns and cities out there that are fighting back against data centers. Dropped a video on this. If you've got something in your neck of the woods, let me know, please. If you've got something popping off, please let me know. Email me, dabu7@yahoo.com. I had no idea about this. If I'd have known this was popping off somewhere in my neck of the woods and I could have got to it, I would have went and covered it, but I had no idea until the next day. It was too late. I knew about that. I found that on Sunday. This took place on Saturday. 28 states, 142 protests. This stuff that I like to get out and cover. You're talking from Alaska down to Naples, Florida. Now, I looked into the person that was set to be a part of launching this, and there's always people that are connected to the shady groups out there. And this Amy Grimmer, she was connected to MAGA and all this other stuff, but beyond that, what I seen grassroots from this was that people from both sides were showing up, like left and right, like people that might not normally have a common ground. They're finding a common ground here. against the beast. Tons of people showing up. 142 rallies, man. Some good turnouts. And then I had some other people over on X when I posted it, telling me that they had one in their neck of the woods and were sharing the information. Again, the images and videos, if you guys got any of that type of stuff. Any of these big protests against the data centers are worth getting out and meeting people. You're going to get out, and this is the closest you're going to have to meeting like-minded individuals like yourself. Do you understand? It's going to be one of the biggest things you could ever done in meeting people you've been looking for. May not be the person next door to you. Your whole street, maybe. Maybe other people in the town, though. Maybe at this event. And again, maybe somebody there with blue hair that you might have thought you didn't get along with. But guess what? They like guns. They're gun rights. They don't like data centers. And you end up having something more in common with somebody than what you even thought. And see, I've been waiting a long time to find something like that. Like I don't been on the major issues and stuff, but like when someone can set all the other crap to the side and we can see eye to eye on the bigger stuff, well then there it is. We can see eye to eye that this is bad, this is the beast. It's not just this, it's not just data centers. You should add to this flock 100%. And why shouldn't it be? If you're going to take the time to be talking about the data centers and spreading the word, you should at the same time, in the same breath, be throwing flock in there with it. Yep. They go hand in hand. So down with the data centers, down with flock. In anything that's against your privacy and your rights, your freedoms. All right, let's go to an attack on a federal building today. This was at 26 Federal Plaza in Lower Manhattan. And an individual that this person describes as a low IQ suspected left-wing terrorist attempted to set the federal government building on fire before being apprehended. I got a couple different clips. I put a piece out on this right when it happened, but it looks like he come up and he dumped something right at the front door here and then lit it on fire and then comes back and throws something into it that then explodes in the fire. Some incendiary device. But then they come out and put it out and they tackle this guy. And here we go.
Guys, oh my God!
You can see.
Get away!
They jumped on him.
Oh my God!
They jumped on him and they had the suspect down pretty quick. And this is just a zoom in.
Oh my God!
On the suspect. The fire was still burning. They had to come out the front door and extinguish it. It created like a big plume when they came out and they did that. If it backs out, maybe it'll.
This is insane. Crazy.
But they say that he is he's identified as a 43-year-old Andrew Arabaka. Right here. That's the suspect. And this building housed the FBI or DHS, ICE. You know, it's a targeted spot, right? So there it is. There's a plume of smoke you can see coming out. But Yeah, right here's I don't like to open up Twitter thing because it makes I don't want anything to run slow. Here's a good shot from above. You can see it burning. There it is. And look, he throws something into it before he runs back and gets tackled. And then that explodes. Right there. Boom. And that lady's lucky. She was running by right as that exploded. And, if it had been like a crazier type of bomb, a shrapnel, or anything else, she could have got hit. But back this up right here. She didn't even stop to look. Yeah, so that was pretty wild. That was the scene. Now, I find this statement in this bit of news rather interesting. FBI Director Kash Patel reveals that a shocking number of drones were thwarted during the World Cup. Okay? Now listen, they telegraphed an event happening. And remember, they took the credit for foiling the UFC event because apparently these guys were planning to fly drones in with bombs. And when people ran out, they were going to funnel them into snipers. And this big, extravagant, almost too good to be true story was thrown out there. And of course, the feds were the heroes of the moment, right? They saved the day, kept everybody safe. Never happened. So it's all he said, she said. I'll take you back over a decade ago when Judge Napolitano was still working for Fox News. He did a segment, which might have got him fired, where he covered the FBI and how they did pieces. They did events just to take credit for them. And just let it be known. And so when you hear this, listen to this. They seized more than 700 illegal drones buzzing over packed stadiums and fan zones during the World Cup, and detected nearly 1,600 more flying into restricted no-fly airspace around the games. That every one of them was overriding a geofence. They put up a geofence. For instance, if I was to fly my drone, my DJI Phantom 3, try to fly it, it wouldn't even happen. First off, I'll tell you this: I wouldn't even get off the ground. They wouldn't even let you if you're that close. And if you fly into it, the drone will start to come down. It'll start to come down out of the sky. Yes, it will. So, I mean, they've got some crazy technologies and stuff like that, but that many drones they took down out of the sky is just insane. That you took down that many, and like, where's the culprits? Yeah. Let's jump into the Tate brothers. Love them or hate them, they're up on the list. These guys just got arrested again, and these guys are some characters. They are. I personally don't. I always go off vibe, and I always go off of just look. I'm someone that's been in the game for a long time, and I know the repercussions of speaking truth. I know what you go through, and what you don't go through, what you don't get. You definitely don't get promoted. You don't get pushed out there. You don't get flaunted, pushed in front of all the masses. You get the exact opposite. You get censored, hidden, and if the Tate brothers were anything of any truth to me, like you wouldn't even hear about them, not in any of the mainstream, because it would be like a forbidden thing to do it. They would stay censored, just like they do all of us out here that speak on the truth. But they are heavily promoted, and they're heavily pushed out there in front of a young audience of young men that look at this and they're like, you know what? Damn, I want to have that chain. Damn, I want to have that car he's driving. Looks good. That suit he's wearing, all looks good. Shades are rocking. They're rocking it all out. So these guys are. It's all about the material, right? And it's good. It's okay to have nice things, but at the same time, there's a flaunting of it out there that like it can get you in trouble, and unwanted attention, so to speak, that you're bringing on yourself. So whether I like these guys, on a personal level or not, I as an investigator, I try to look at it like that. They've been on my radar for a while because of. Well, I first off looked at like how they getting their money, like how are these guys so rich? How do they got it made? How do they got it made? Like for real. We'll look into the first charges when they were in court the very first time, what they were drug in there for. Do you know? Well, these guys were taking young women and they were basically being like boss pimps, is exactly what Andrew Tate would call it. Boss pimps. And these women were willingly doing every single thing that they were doing. So they would argue that nowhere at any time was there ever any rape or anything like that. But they were running in rings of young girls and getting them to go on like OnlyFans. Now, when you're a guy like one of them in this position, well, what they did was they'll take a girl, put her on OnlyFans, and like they're pimping basically this girl, and saying, "Hey, you're gonna come back with all this money. Like, you're gonna make X amount of money." They basically come to these girls like, "We're gonna build this around you. It's because of us, and we're gonna take our cut out of it. And you're gonna get this." And if they had it their way, they'd keep all these girls isolated as much as possible so they can't talk to each other and like scheme and plot against them at all. Make them all think that they're all their own special little deal, right? Well, that worked for a little bit, it seemed, until it didn't. And some of these girls start to figure out that they weren't the only ones. And then jealousy starts to come in, things start to fall apart, accusations are made, and when you're in this realm, what are you expecting? So now rape's being screamed, all this other stuff. When you're dealing with a bunch of young girls, you don't think there's not going to be one or two that slide in there that are these guys taking IDs? Even if they are, you don't think one didn't flash them a fake at some point? We'll see. It all matters in the end because of what he's getting charged with. Because we want to see, well, let me break this down here real quick, because it separates. They're not both getting charged with identical charges. Andrew seems to be getting hit with charges that are worse than Tristan. Okay, so they say here that they have the social media empire promoting wealth, male dominance, and misogyny. It's made them among the world's most polarizing internet personalities. They were arrested in Miami because British authorities want them extradited back to Britain on rape and sex trafficking charges. Remember, they were already hemmed up before, and then they got released. So they've been taken back into custody by U.S. Marshals. This was a sealed warrant. And in the clip, real quick, Andrew tries to hand his phone off to his bodyguard, but his bodyguard's like stunned, stupid, looking around, and misses it. You can see it right here. Here he is holding it out, and the bodyguard's looking forward, ahead. If he would have really been paying attention, he could have got the phone quickly and easily, but they seen it. And you'll see Tristan is in black over here with the hat. They got him, and I don't know what's up with some of these outfits these kids wear, but I'm gonna run this clip here that shows them basically getting taken down right here.
Come over here by me. Let's go. Back up. Back up. Guys, back up. Be able to pull it up some sort of you gotta get
Tristan, anything to say?
Yeah, so anything to say. This is what it says. British prosecutors announced Saturday they are seeking the brothers on charges that they raped and trafficked women between 2010 and 2017. The dual U.S. British citizens moved to Romania in 2016. They were arrested there in 2022, accused of participating in schemes to lure women for sexual exploitation. Everything I was just telling you. Okay, so this is what the Tate brothers are. Okay, this is their background. Getting young women seduced and all this other stuff, and you can only imagine all the stuff that they've done. I mean, come on. And now it's like coming back to bite them. The thing is, and was before, with the whole thing in Romania and arrested and all that, and why I think they got free is because you were looking for proof that they actually did something wrong, or were you just hating on them for what they were doing? Like what law specifically is what they were saying. And rape is a specific accusation. There has to be a specific woman saying this and all that. Well, they're going on here. They're denying allegations. The Romanian case hasn't gone forward completely because of legal and procedural problems, which doesn't make any sense there. Look, it can resurface at any time. Last year, they were allowed to leave Romania, and they flew to Florida on a private jet. And when they showed up, they're like, I'm buying some this and that, like bam, bam, and like people thought it was a joke at first, but it wasn't. And they set up shop. So they're expected to appear in Miami's federal court early next week. The pending charges in the UK accuse the brothers of abusing women in an area north of London where they grew up. Their lawyer said that they denied the allegations. So that is what is going on here with them at this point. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Trying to see here. They had said, all right, right here. Both brothers are accused of rape and human trafficking. Andrew Tate faces an additional charge of profiting from prostitution and 19 charges for offenses related to indecent images of a child and extreme pornography. So they're hitting Andrew harder than Tristan in this. So that's where that sits. So that you know, let's go to Mom Donnie's New York. West Side homeless camp there, stretching now 12 blocks. That's massive. They're apparently stealing power now. The camp stretches from 34th Street to 46th Street near the Intrepid Museum. So if you're going to go through this area, they're saying it's a visible flashpoint for residents, commuters, and tourists. You're going to see it. It's just expanding. Over the past few weeks, I guess it's exploded. This is getting bigger and bigger. Again, somehow they found a way, somewhere running a cord, or somehow they've got power. All it takes is someone slipping into a back room in a business somewhere or a big building and plug an extension cord into a wall that no one sees or knows about ever, and it being ran to wherever. That will supply the whole freaking place. And that's what they're doing. They're saying that they're stealing city power. Doing just that. I mean, this place is going to turn into something out of a movie. They want it that way, for sure. Now, here is one of these DSA members, these Democratic Socialists, inadvertently exposing their playbook, talking like they don't care if anyone's secret Nazis or anything. She's like, just vote for our agenda. And this guy kind of flips out about it, and he's like, what are you kidding? Like, people actually care about this. And like, we're just using people.
I've said this before. I don't really care if, say, like Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but they go out and they vote for the right things. Like, we're talking about
you don't
politicians
care?
As I mean,
I don't know about that. I think these are the lines that people are talking about. Some people care about that exact thing.
He's right there. So she just said, and here's another one where we got another one speaking on it.
I think it's particularly important, not just for our community in Tigray, but communities of the global South, period, right? There's a certain reckoning that we are going to have with the global world order as it exists today, and the way that it fundamentally will have to shift going forward, right? The responsibility that we have as Americans, the recognition that is going to be required of us, of the exploitative and extractive nature that we play on the global scale and the global stage, is only going to be challenged if we are getting represented by people who understand that on a fundamental level, right? And that means getting more immigrants into office. That means getting more people who have heritage in the global South into office, because that's where those decisions are made specific.
Yeah. Forget about you and me. So sick of these people. Just you want to bring other people in so it's to their advantage. so they can use them for votes and then say the hell with the rest of us. Here's Bill Maher is more and more been coming out saying he's not going to live in this communist setup. I'm seeing, you know what I'm seeing, to be honest? I'm seeing ever since Tucker made this announcement that he's gonna work with and support this third party, independent party or whatever it is, but he's not gonna run. He's going to be a part of it. It tells me there's going to be a huge push for this. And I'm seeing all these different characters that seem to be sliding into this middle third party area. Bill Maher has been one of them. Said to be a Democrat, a liberal, but this net, but having a lot of conservative viewpoints as well. Kind of just like Fetterman. And I'm gonna, you'll see that here in a bit. They're all playing this game to where they're detaching from the Republican or Democratic parties. That only leaves one thing then. That leaves the independent, if you ask me. But
so I'm not living in communist America. I mean, I know that the talking point is that, well, it's not communism, it's socialism. Okay, I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. Don't tell me I'm not seeing what I am seeing. And DSA, again, they
so again, that's one example right there. Look at New York here, though, underneath of Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie is trying to run a city underneath of that mentality, okay? And you have billions of dollars leaving because tons of millionaires are fleeing. So just think about this for a second and kind of fast forward this. That, I mean, what's going to happen when you accelerate this pace and you have no fix at all around? You have the richest of the rich, the big money, leaving in droves. That didn't work. Then, as I just showed you and told you, you've got the freaking homeless setup expanding, 12 blocks, growing larger and larger. Again, it's going to turn into something crazy. Big Apple getting hit. And check this out. Homan announces that ICE is coming to New York at any time to storm it. If you were watching on the last stream or so, I showed you there was a map that Mom Donnie put out. And he put out a map showing where all the enclaves were of all these different migrant groups all across all these different boroughs. And it was like, what the? For anyone that knew, they were like, hold on. He just handed Homan and ICE a map of where to go specifically. They already knew, I'm going to tell you. The data that they got, and the maps they got, and information. But, it just goes to show that he did kind of give them all away. Here's Homan. I don't trust these ICE teams because I'm going to tell you, I've said this before in the past, and I'm going to put this back into your memory bank here tonight. These ICE teams are trained groups of men deployed to pop out and snatch people up all across the country, right? That's what they are. A decade ago, we were warning you about this type of moment, about this happening. People are like, oh, it's just conspiracy. But no, it's happening. It's only happening because they got the excuse to do it. The excuse is all the migrants running around. They only got the excuse because they had Biden in here and they let it happen for 4 years. Okay? So they have teams of men that have been, they are right now tonight, running around, snatching people up, and you have these shootings that are happening. People getting killed. All this conflict and stuff getting kicked up. People are getting used to this. And purebloods. Anyone that cares. You remember this tonight. Again, the same men and teams that are out there tracking down your so-called migrants will be the ones used to hunt down anyone that doesn't take the jab this next time around. The other ones trained, skilled, getting all the real-time action to do it, to round people up. And the people are getting conditioned right now also with the whole migrant thing to accept this in real time. Dudes running around with guns, spraying out, doing this, shootings going out, people getting killed. They're desensitizing everyone. That's what it's doing. Straight up, no one wants to talk about that aspect of it. Okay? Kev Bar. Yeah, thank you for the comment and the super chat. I appreciate it to the fullest, my brother. But here is, I'm going to play this clip here of Homan warning about what they're going to do coming into NYC.
Did show that we would see more ICE agents in New York City than we've ever seen before. I know that you've also reviewed operational plans. What's the latest on that? When can we expect to see those ICE agents?
You'll see me at a press event when it's over.
That's a tease.
I'm not going to,
Any
forecast
timeline you'd
any
like to
enforcement operation. But here's another politician that says she said 100 times she believes in the enforcement of immigration law against those criminals, but then she locks us out of the jail. She can't square that. She says she cares about enforcing against criminal illegal aliens, but ended the 287G program where we were working with sheriffs in the jail. So if an illegal alien is sitting in that county jail, chances are he's not a choir boy, he's a criminal. But she locked us out of 287G programs. I looked at the data this morning, my chief of staff. We got just shy of 6,500 criminal aliens we took off the streets in New York. So the data doesn't match her talking points. In the 287G program, several hundred criminal illegal aliens were handed to us through that 287G program. Now that she ended it, those several hundred aliens in the future will be hitting the streets in New York, reoffending against the citizens of New York who...
He don't give a dang about the citizens of New York. This couple hundred people that are being let loose he's talking about, to me, is just bait. It's just enough to get their guys in the streets running around doing what they want to do. Again, it's everything I told you. It's desensitizing people to all this, seeing ICE teams. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. You surely will at some point. Maybe you'll get stopped at one of the checkpoints. Maybe they'll come into your business or this and that. They targeted Minneapolis, in different places, and they're still going about doing that. They pulled back for a minute, but as soon as they fired back up with their action here, the shootings have fired back up, and he's going on these shows trying to speak this crap and justify what they're doing. Look, it's a big ploy is what it is. It's everything I just told you and explained to you. They let the illegals in here nonstop for 4 freak. Where were you then, Captain Homan? Where were you at the whole time they were running across the border? You didn't give a damn. Where were you at barking at the Biden administration doing anything? You didn't give a damn. It was part of the plan. They let them all in. Why? So they could do what they're doing now. It's just that simple. And without having this place flooded, you can't do it. So this is all part of a multi-year ploy and plan. Trump, a part of it, he always knew that he wasn't going to get that second term. It was going to go to the man in the mask, Biden, or whatever. But he always knew that he had where he's at right now. That's why I tell you the gloves are off. The fangs come out. Like, he can take off the mask. Like, everything he was ever meant to do was meant for right now. Like, game time, showtime, crunch time, all the big dog stuff. He stayed away from all the war stuff first time around, primarily. Although he out of nowhere assassinated that one general. Okay, and that should have been a tell right there of what was to come. Here we are, fast forward. They've clipped Khomeini, and they're pounding them right now as I speak. I feel like we're in World War. I really do. I'm gonna skip through some of this. Let me see where we're at here. And I'm just gonna get to real quick. I put a piece out on Mitch McConnell. It's pretty bad when the governor of my state says, "Show us proof of life," and he has to put out proof of life, and they put out this image. And as I covered in the video, a lot of people were saying that this has signs of being AI, and who that has been in the hospital for weeks under this circumstance is in regular clothes. They screwed up major there. And then you stop and think about those things. Because anyone that's in there for a stay, you're in hospital garbs, dude. And you know it. They're not perfect, man. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes when they make these little mistakes, gotta catch them. And when the governor cannot prove that this man is alive, he said he got 2 phone calls from different places saying that McConnell was dead. That's the governor saying that. That's a mind blow. Like, get out of here. Like this dude, and the governor said, which I can't stand Bashir, but he said McConnell works for the people, and like he's got to show the people, like the people are his boss, and he's got. If anyone else just didn't show up for work for weeks and like didn't have a doctor's note, didn't this or that, like this has become Weekend at Bernie's, man. And shout out to Dew's News, Rob Dew. He had a piece where a guy sent him some stuff, but he was basically telling me, and it made sense that because why would anyone care about keeping this dude alive or anything like that? Well, apparently the way it was put to me was they got to keep him alive till the beginning of August, which is a couple weeks now away. Because if not, the Democrat Bashir can assign McConnell's spot to a new person. And that would for surely, you're talking majority leader or whatever seat he fills here, it would be taken over by a Democrat. And the Republicans are not going to have that at all. So though they would, let me tell you, we know for a fact that that's the case. If a couple weeks goes by, they hit this deadline, all of a sudden they say, "Hey, all right, yeah, he's dead. He just had a heart attack. He's dead." You'll know for sure that that's exactly what happened. If not, show yourself, dude. How hard is it to go on Facebook Live and like anyone else is like, "Hey, I'm right here," blah blah blah. But it's none of it. None of it. They know it's that simple in this day and age. And again, for the governor to be, get out of here, man. Fetterman suggesting that he may leave the Democratic Party. Then he trashes Trump. Yeah? Remember what I was just saying? What's that leave? You said the hell with the Dems, the hell with the Republicans. What's that leave? That leaves that third party. And you can already see the goons stacking up for it. I can. Clearly. You watch. So, this should be illegal. Trump endorses Lindsey Graham's sister for a full term. I can't believe this crap. Like, shouldn't these people be voted in 100%? I'm going to tell you, pure mafia sway, power, and control is on display right here with this one. Straight up. Like, that's it. Like, his sister is getting put in power. Are you kidding me? Like, this is nuts. Not a politician, a known politician, not that I like her, but Nancy Mace. She's one that would have stepped up for South Carolina, and you would have thought this time last year would have been a shoo-in. She would accept it and took it all the way. Guess what? Not now. And all of a sudden, she's like frowning and like head down and like I'm not even gonna run and this and that. And people are like, why? What's going on? Well, it's pretty clear. She's been outcasted. She chose to defend the women with the whole Epstein thing. And she's felt the wrath pretty much just like Thomas Massey in MTG. She's saying that, I'm just going to lay down because I take it, after looking into this, it seems like she's been given the warning or basically a signal like, don't waste your time. Don't try to run because you will get primary. If you didn't notice what we just did to Thomas Massey, that had more sway than her. Someone that never accepted a dime from the Israeli lobby. If Trump can primary someone like that guy that popular, and again, Massey's someone else that I could see gravitating toward this third party, this new party, which I think there's going to be a huge push behind it. What do you do at this point if you're them, the establishment, and you've come this whole way, and you're literally playing the Trump card now. You've waited all these years to play this big, this finale moment, to get everything that you want, basically. Turn this place into a police state, which is happening right now in real time, on Trump's watch, 100%. Palantir taking over the flock cameras all over the place, everything I told you, 100%. It's happening on Trump's watch. I'd say where you at, MAGA, but MAGA's no more. It really don't exist. There's not much of anything left because I think people have realized that they don't want to be caught over their photos in the history books. It's like, oh, these are the dumbasses that were protecting the pedos. Some people caught on late, but better late than never. Better get the memo late than never. That, the whole what you thought was cool thing with MAGA thing, it's like death in the water thing. It's a pedo thing. And it took some of them a minute to, I guess, wrap their head around that. But like, some of us just don't let it die. Like, you do, there's some things you stand on, and like, that's one of them. Like, major. I've lost some friends out here, so-called friends. I guess they never were friends. People I thought were friends out here in this realm. Other influencers, so to speak, or egos. Guys I thought were big patriots. Big old veteran patriots. That disappointed me. I guess that's just the way it goes out there. And they're over there still supporting Trump. Just blows me away. That's why I say it. They're still supporting Trump. It just blows me away. To all the pedo stuff, to all everything, all this war stuff, like, just like, what are you doing? When I see somebody defending them like that, it's like, dude, you must be working for them, man. I just must have not. I must have missed it. Not wanted to see it because I wanted to be your friend. But some of these cats will get you like that because they're likable characters. And it sucks. Some people out there don't stand for nothing, man. They'd rather just ride the chump train, I guess, until the wheels fall off. And to me, the track's out. Anyhow, Nancy Mace here going to explain a little bit why she's not going to run, but I kind of told you what was going on here. You can see she's deflated. She says she's going to just stay fighting for these women, and I'll tell you, she really has no other choice. It's the only option at this point.
I want to be straight with you. I'm not running for the U.S. Senate, not because I'm backing down from a fight, but because the one I'm already in matters right now. The laws meant to protect me and other women failed us, and I won't stop until that changes. So I'm not chasing another title, I'm chasing justice. Justice for me, justice for other women, and justice for every little girl who was told to stay silent. That's where my focus is today, and that's where it's going to stay.
Well, let's hope that she stays true to that and that she's successful in bringing about some kind of change and shedding light onto the situation. Because if she's any bit of true and real in this sense, they will continue to attack her. Her life would be in danger and everything else. They've already basically removed her from the scene here. She can't even run for senator in replacing Lindsey Graham. She should have been the shoe-in. She should have been. The clear, one of the clear favorites.
Serving South Carolina.
But she won't be. And I'm just gonna, I already translated it for you. The mafia then got to her. And here, the Don of the mafia tells Mom Donnie, and this whole thing's a circus, that Netanyahu will not be arrested in NYC at all, absolutely for no reason. He wants to come in here for the UN General Assembly in New York, and I guess Mom Donnie's saying D's going to get arrested, and Trump's like, "Oh no, he's not. Like if you dare do that or try that, like what's going to happen?" Oh boy. Anybody got the kahunas to even attempt it? Like, dude's wanted on a global international criminal arrest warrant. Crimes against humanity. He's collected more souls of babies and women than anyone you know. Trump's boss, but Trump will never tell you that. Trump acts like he's the man, right? He even put out a statement the other day. He's like, "Yeah, I told BB that I'm the boss, so let him know it," or something like that. I'm just like, get out of here. It's your garbage. So this is tit for tat now. Your boss got us into a war that the American people don't want in, never voted for. Many people say they voted for no wars. That's another reason why people were like, I'm done, I'm out of here. Because all of a sudden they find themselves, they got their pom-poms out over here, all this winning, and like, you're only going to live in an illusion for so long. When the bombs start flying, and you were like, one of your main things was like no wars, and people start calling you out on that. Like, well, I thought you weren't for wars. What changed? Well, I'm not, but what? But what? Like, this is World War, okay? They have issued an alert for people, for Americans basically, worldwide. Use caution that this is spiraling out of control and that you could be targeted anywhere at this point. That's what they're saying. Iran's pounded Kuwait. They're hitting their energy infrastructure right now. Desalination. They've hit Jordan. They hit Bahrain. We have U.S. troops dead, dying. Like, people better snap out of it, like, real quick. See what's going on here. They're not even going to be able to travel anywhere because you're just an open target at this point. It's that bad. So Trump says that Iran's going to pay many times over for U.S. troop deaths. They also have some so-called mediators out here trying to push for a 10-day ceasefire, but good luck with that. You've got fresh attacks. 2 brand new tankers hit. Crews bailing off of them. The war widening. All the U.S. can do is keep pounding certain spots from the air, but that is pricey. I'm telling you, every single missile that they're firing to hit every single target costs a ton of money compared to these low-cost drones that can evade radar and can do a lot of damage out there. I mean, really, they're coming in with like a 1-2 punch, like a slow little left and a quick right on them, because they're coming in with these slow drones that are slow and low and still doing damage. And then they're coming in from space as fast as you could possibly think of, hypersonic. And dude, Iran is backed up for days by Russia and China. It'll never end. I mean, you'd be crazy to think that you're going to sit there and go tit for tat with them back and forth. I mean, I don't know where they win, how they win in this. Their goal was to go in and remove nuclear stuff and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't believe none of it. It's like weapons of mass destruction from Iraq again. Not buying it. I don't see how they win, where they win. This becomes, as of right now, a humanitarian crisis for Donald Trump. It really does. Lights are out. Power plants have been hit. All the places he's like, I don't really want to do it. He's done it. Iran fires additional strikes at Jordan. It's not stopping. This is just the articles that I got pulled up. We are in an active live war. So I can only imagine what's happening as I'm speaking, what I'll see when I shut the show down tonight, and what happens by morning. Because it's a constant, repeated, like 10-day in a row barrage of pounding sites. So Iran's striking back. You would think, well, why are they not just hitting like where their missiles are coming from and trying to take them out? Well, apparently they can't, or they would have. Apparently they can't. They can't stop them. I've said this before. Iran has taken the time over the years to build tens of thousands of locations in the mountains where in the ground is a drone or a missile that will just pop up and launch. Kind of similar to what we did here in the United States in the Pacific Northwest with the nukes. You could be going through a neighborhood and not even know it, but that be a nuclear silo, like up in Montana or something. You wouldn't know it until the roof folds back one day and the thing launches a freaking missile out of it and we're going to war. But that's the truth. We're in major war, man. You might just see that at this rate. Iran is relying not only on China and Russia for missiles, but what's this one say? China has what they call the Baidu satellite system, and it's a game changer. And it really is. I told you, they're trying to compete with Starlink and Elon Musk and the whole thing. And if it's really war and you're really trying to stop them, then start shooting down the satellites. That's what you would do next. So get ready. Like Star Wars, Space Wars, all this stuff above us, a big show, is about to commence. They got one team up there and they're getting the other team ready. It's crazy. I told you before, the Houthis control the whole area down there around the Strait of Tears, and they can shut down the Red Sea. But this shows they've announced a blockade on Saudi shipping They threatened drone and missile strikes on the Saudi kingdom. Dude, this is World War. This is World War. All the fronts. Let's go right on down around the way. Ukraine. I've been telling the same thing. World War. Multiple countries sending troops into a battlefront to get killed. It's happening. It's happening left and right on multiple fronts. We are, by definition, in World War. Look it up. We are in. Mass casualties, all that. It's all there. It's all there. High-grade tactical weaponry, it's all been used. The only thing it's not been used is a freaking nuke. And it's always the last thing. So it's like you don't want to see it. And it'd be hard. But the exchange, and I don't think it'd ever be at this point a normal type of nuke that you would think. I think that it would have to all be small and tactical. Because if any system detects that anyone launches a freaking regular nuke that would release fallout and all that, the rest of the world would detect it and they would counter. I don't know if you've ever seen the simulation, man, but if this ever happened and we went into, somehow it got triggered. So we'll say somebody launched a nuke. But it almost went down before false. It was a false. Oh, man, it makes me think now that ancient AI. Oh, man. Just try to set something like this off a nuke. It would set the whole chain reaction off. Every single country launching their nukes. And, like, everywhere it gets obliterated. Like, everywhere. Like, we don't have enough of nothing to stop anything coming at us. We would just, everywhere would take everything. Every hit thrown at it. We don't have no golden dome or anything like that even up yet. This crap Trump's talking about. He's basing it off of the Iron Dome or whatever out of Israel, which sucked. They took hypersonics right to the face. And they got messed up bad. That's why the whole war stopped. That's why all of everything stopped in East off. That's why all the hypersonics, all the big missiles, all the bombing, all the hitting Iran hard stopped at the time. Because Iran didn't, or Israel didn't have a response. Still don't have a response. But I would say you'll see something when Israel jumps back in the mix. Remember, we're out there pounding the crap out of Iran now, 10 days in a row. Not to say Israel's not involved, but they're not involved like they were the last round. They're definitely not at all. Last round, they were launching straight from out of Israel toward Iran, and they were back and forth, back and forth. That's not happening now. Israel did not even get hit in this volley. Why is that? Why is that? Well, why is that? Dude, you're hitting Jordan, you're hitting Kuwait, you're hitting all these stuff. Why would you not hit Israel? Why would you not hit Israel? Why would you not do it? Because the world's a stage. And none of the sheep out there see what I just told you. Everyone just looked right past it. See all the other headlines. But stop to sit there and look and see the obvious. Hold on. Why didn't they just lick Israel hard? Again, they didn't. They didn't. I'm telling you, when they do, it's for the big exchange. It's like reserved for that. The next one, Russia pounds Kiev. I told you World War. That's where we're at. World War III. I feel like we're in it. I mean, there's places getting decimated like never before. Look at this. Whole skylines on fire. And this isn't just like a one-off thing. This is like happening like every few days, back and forth. Russia's doing it to Kiev, and then Zelensky's doing it to Russia. And Russia's been taking some hits, man. Like the numbers thousands and thousands and thousands of Russian troops every week dead, like 7,000 a week at this point. And the drones are no joke. It's a majority of drones chasing dudes down and blowing them away. It's crazy. I showed some of the footage last time, and I could show it because the guy didn't get blown away. But what it was showing was the guy was running for his life, and the drone just followed him, and he led the drone right back to his entire unit. And the drone pulled up, and you could see they were all entrenched and trying to hide on the side of the road and all this. And you could see them all looking up, could see the drone, and they were done. Their spot was soon as they picked up that spot, big guns, mortar rounds, big shells that are at a distance zeroed in on that spot to start shelling immediately to hit it. Do you see? So there's all kinds of tactics with the drones. So they launched 400 plus drones on Moscow in one of the biggest attacks yet. So Moscow has got plumes of smoke coming up out of it. They're not going to take too much more of this. They're definitely not going to take the Kremlin, any of their ancient buildings getting hit. Like, as soon as you see that, like, they're letting all these other places like get hit, or it's happening at least, but I don't know. A lot of ancient history is getting wiped out, and it seems to be part of the plan by the elites as well. The whole thing with Tartaria, it's real. There was an ancient, massive civilization. You can even see it on the dang maps. It's real, and they went out of their way to erase it from history. And I'm convinced that it was part of a civilization that used the natural energy, just like Tesla said, of the earth for power, for energy, and all these other things. It was built on a natural cycle that they've stripped us of right now, to where you can see it in all these structures. You look at all these ancient structures when they weren't even supposed to have a wheel. It looks like some of these temples were 3D printed. Are you freaking kidding me? And dumbass sheep on a daily basis, like, it's just like, man, we're so lied to. Like, the ancient history was so, Thoth told you, Atlantis told you, all the stories right there. There was a high civilization. And I told you before with the bells are not just a thing for churches. They are a high frequency healing device that was set up around the world on a ley line structure, and a healing structure, this whole planet. Even the water, all the water was ran to the cities a specific way, and it was ran through copper piping. It was all ran to heal, to charge. Dude, I just told you everything, like, on how it was all laid out, and they stripped our whole world of it. That is what we got to get back to. That's the natural way. That's the natural function of this place that got dismantled. And it's the ether, it's the free energy, 0 point, everything Tesla told you, and more, so much more. So where we at? 11:30. All right, I'm gonna wind this down here with the Chinese, because this we really have to start focusing on China at this point, because they're everywhere. They're right next to our military bases in this country. They're embedded within all of our infrastructure. Christopher Wray told us this. I go on and on about everything. They've been busted controlling or having a backdoor into the cranes on all of our ports, and we could do absolutely nothing about it because they're the only ones that make it, and they could shut it down any day, anytime. They could lock up our ports. Real deal. Anytime, any moment. They could pull the plug in any sector. They're here, embedded everywhere. They're growing marijuana across Oklahoma and other states in large quantities. They know they're all over the place, crawling. Again, they own the property right next door to our military bases. This is a setup. is what it is. It's a setup. It's like 4,000 some people getting told not to go to work on 9/11. It's a setup. Didn't even have the word. Used the word, the J word, not once. You know. See, 10 years ago, not everybody knew. But I will say this now: everybody out here knows who the enemy is. There's no denying it. You're either flat out lying or living in a total false reality. Everybody sees who's killing everybody. Everybody sees who murders and assassinates everyone all the time. It's the same hand all the time. Ain't that right, Kev Bar? All right. Not going to play these clips. A longer video clip. I will finish on this. Anduril unveils a tilt rotor killer drone straight out of Terminator. So you thought these DJI, the regular drones, are bad. They are. Chasing dudes down, dive bombing them, blowing them up, dropping bombs on them, everything you think of. Well, now, there's a new one. This is kind of like the Osprey. It's how I see it of drones. I mean, it can dive down and shift and do all these different stuff. It can maneuver in different ways. It can all be flown FPV, which means a dude wearing a headset somewhere in the back of a van or underground a base, hunting you down like a video game. This is real deal. That's the scary part. All these dudes getting blown away every day that you see in all these clips out there, Ukrainian and Russian, they're both getting killed by a dude on the other side that's treating it like a video game. Literally. Flying a drone FPV is wild. It's like a video game. And when you've been trained to kill, it's nutty, man. Colin, man. London Stock Exchange going to start round the clock trading in early 2027. Interesting. Thank you for the comment in the super chat. And I'll finish with this. They're talking about aerial drone, like lifts, like the thing I just showed you, basically giving airlifts to kamikaze ground bots into the front lines. So the plus to this is whoever's on the upside of this, there's a lot less humans that got to be on the front line out here to get killed. But if you're on the other side of this, you're going to get slaughtered. And look, man, let's just be real. What did I just say? We all know who kills everybody, right? Who's all this technology ultimately going to be turned on? It already is. They're tracking you like an animal with flock right now. Just wait till the drones are in the sky. Well, I'm going to tell you, they already are. You just don't even know. You don't even see them, understand what's happening. Because the technology being deployed. I'm seeing stuff out here that defies any of the common technology. Like late at night when I step outside, I'm seeing things that shouldn't be. The other night after a stream I just had, I seen a huge bright light. It wasn't a meteor. It wasn't a flash. I've seen everything you think of, man. Like this thing comes flying right from north to south, right over top of me, as bright as could be, and just nothing. Out. Like, not a flash, like a meteor. I mean, it was like one solid light. It didn't move at the speed of a meteor. It was moving a little faster than the speed of like a plane or a drone in the sky. It was just brilliant, but no flashers, no flashing on it. It didn't explode, anything. It just gone. As soon as it got above me, bright, brilliant light, and gone. I'm like, dude, I ran in, freaking like, I mean, what do you do? I see crazy stuff out there because there's no city lights around here. I see the Milky Way. I can see the band of the freaking Milky Way. But my phone sucks. My phone won't take a picture of the freaking moon. It's like, what the? It's not old. It's not super old. It's got the 3 cameras in front. I just don't get it. I need to upgrade in my night vision for sure for the sky. and then we can see some things. Because let me tell you, the night sky I got out here, if I had a camera or something that could show you a night sky, I would blow your mind, like all the time, every night. It's like that out here. And the stuff moving, I wouldn't have to tell you about no more. It's like, look, see that thing? Barely see it. Looks like it's way out there. Like, yeah, you'll see them. No flashers, no nothing. Enormous. Just kind of cruising along, but way out there. Way out there. 'Cause you can make out a plane. You can make out a meteor. You can make out satellites. I can make out the ISS when it goes by. Okay, but these things are out there way further than that. I'm talking like, I can't even put a length on it. Just way out. You know, so, I don't know, man. The firmament and all that. We live in crazy times. Show that Cat Williams clip. Man, I hope that's not copywritten. But hold on a second. Trying to get something loaded up here. See if it'll work.
Idea who shot Suge. If the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody.
And John Lennon and JFK.
Nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother. Nobody does it.
He just made a point that's.
Yeah. The hand. There you go. So, at least everybody knows. Much love. God bless everybody out there. All you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. All right, we got one in. I don't like to run these things any longer than this, really. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Got another good one in the books here. I do appreciate all the love, the support. You guys that share the stream, I appreciate it more than you know. I thank you to the fullest for all the super chats. Any coffees anyone's bought, any support of the channel whatsoever, it's appreciated more than you know. Those to step up, I do appreciate it to the fullest. And I got a cat somewhere around me somewhere. It just keeps meowing. I don't know where he's at. Pixie, Kim, all you guys, much love. Space Cow, RJ, Reaper again, EC, Cooler, Tiffany, Gooch. I appreciate you guys to the fullest. I look to be back on Wednesday. This is the new time, 9 o'clock. So I know some people out there like 8 o'clock, and some people like the 9 o'clock, this and that, but 9 o'clock's where it's at. It has to be for now, and what we're running with. So I don't know. I'm going to check the chat and just check some feedback. Don't want to run out here too quick. Check my email, give it a glance real quick. Again, Drunken Dow, Reaper, Gabriel, someone on them coffees tonight. Appreciate it to the fullest. Jocelyn, thank you for the information. Any other info that was sent, I'll get to it here after the show. Yes, my music is on Spotify, and we like to cover music that covers like world events. Me and Crown Jewels, Hoodie Ross, Omek, which is uncommon news. Yeah. So we've got several different ones. Always working on something here just to get the attention of the people. Trying to fight the fight. And there's Hoodie Ross. Hoodie, like, you on a different account? Like, what happened? Like, why are you not modded? I don't get it. All right, well, I'll just fix that. Maybe you have to use a different account. All right. There we go. I think I got you set. I don't know, man. Just watching the chat here real quick. Academy, much love. Gabriel, everybody, all the pure bloods. God bless. Thank you for hanging out again. I don't know. I feel like all praise to the Most High. Everybody on all platforms here tonight. Over and check. Yeah, man. All right, so thank you, Pixie. Much love right back at you. It's Steely. Thank you so much, legendary man. Paisley. Plank. Ninja. Super Dave. Everybody, again, much love. God bless. Jay from the Ville, man. I don't know. What should I take us out of here on? Scroll the songs here. I was going to play like different stuff, man. I'd be taking us out of here on some wild stuff that blow your mind. Some old 80s classic rock songs. You'd be like, what? You might like. Some of you for sure, but I know because you hear me with all this hip hop and rap all the time. That's just because that's what I make. I would make like I would make like a POD, like Corn, Limp Bizkit ish type of. I'd make a rock rap if I could make anything, but I just could never do it because I don't have anybody that's in a band to do it. If I ever had a band, we'd have tried that, but I never had the band, so. But yeah, always working on new stuff. Just looking through the lineup here again real quick. And man, there's somebody I just can't play. All right. I guess I'll go with this one. Take us out of here. Q City. Yeah, I know everybody's got a different mix. I use this music as a weapon. You're saying it's a weapon. So when you hear me, Bonnie Clyde, when you hear me, I hear like, you better get ready for war. Like, it's another way to spread the truth and to tell everybody the message, you better get ready for war. Like, when the grid goes down, you better be ready. It all speaks for itself, right? It's just another weapon. And I always envision it. I come hard with it. There's no other way about it. With this music, like, it's my chance to inspire someone else to if they want to get up and ride someday against the beast. Well, hopefully they'll do it to my music. That's why some of my songs are just hard like that. Like, when we come to your town, any of that stuff, like hunting them down, setting them down. Like, somebody got to get them fired up. Do it. So, yeah. Anyhow, I guess I've talked enough. And the song I selected didn't play, so I guess I'm gonna have to go with another one here. I I can't give away. I so bad like when I'm playing like this and that I haven't even put up stuff I haven't even.
The Garden of Eden.
There you go.
The Great Flood.
Much
the
love,
birthplace of
DJ.
Abraham. I know of men who have taken life needlessly in other conflicts. I can assure you, they live with a mark of Cain upon them. The enemy should be in no doubt that we are his nemesis, and we are bringing about his rightful destruction. If you are ferocious in battle, remember to be magnanimous in victory.
I took my place at the table and drank wine with the kings. Picked up my sword to go and battle with the gins. There's rumors of war and it's about to begin. So repent for sins before you send for your wings. About the school I'm out about, prepared crowns and kneecaps. Wrote revelations, been there and back with deep math. Read all the scriptures, seen through them like a sheet glass. I did the knowledge equipped with many weed sacks. So ease back, I speak facts, my spirit is prepared. What will be, never show no despair. Keep your head held high and have faith in the hair. And join in because there's power in prayer. And when the hour is here, don't be devoured in fear. Cause the flowers of smoke, they gave me powers of seers. And I've been pounding ears for years to down fears. So welcome to the underground, the thunder stars here, yeah.
Welcome to the underground, you're safe as over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. His word is moving now, the world is losing now. Out of the promised land cause they refuse to bow. Welcome to the underground, you're safe as over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. Now it's a day away, the war about to break. So grab a sword, pray the Lord and soldier take your place. Angels stand ready at the four winds. Abaddon's armor's on, about to storm in. So warn men as they hearing the lyrics. Stand bold, don't fold, ain't no fear in the spirit. The spirit, the spirit. You miss it, should you choose to accept it. Speak truth, tear down deception. Your only weapon, the words he's given. So spit flames, and rain hell from heaven. Form up, we about to storm up with the right team. The spike scene will make that all-seeing eye scream. With light beams we make them melt into a light sheen. Unless they covered by the blood like a sunscreen. The unseen is made clear only by his grace. For the king we give it all, we run the race. War is on, sword is dawn, make no mistake. Don't fall, stand tall, soldier, take your place. Welcome to the underground, you're safe as over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. His word is moving now, the world is losing now. Out of the promised land cause they refuse to bow. Welcome to the underground, you're safe as over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. Now it's a day away, the war about to break. So grab a sword, pray the Lord and soldier take your place.
It's time to take your place, or you getting replaced. You either ride for the Lord or getting your soul erased. The demons give a chase, they all up in my face. That's when I hit them with holy water like it was mace. Better repent for sin and overcome the gin. The end time's here, so baby let the games begin. We walk in righteousness, the only way we gonna win. The soul screaming to heaven, begging to let them in. The seals are breaking, prophecy got the earth shaking. Better awaken or forever get your soul taken. I ain't faking, you better prepare. When the Lord comes to separate the wheat from the tare. If you care, time's ticking into the final hour. And when the Lord comes, you'll witness the power. When the trumpet sounds, it's about to go down. The real can only be found up in the underground.
Welcome to the underground, you're safe as over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. His word is moving now, the world is losing now. Out of the promised land cause they refuse to bow. Welcome to the underground, you're safe as over now. We got a place you can't escape because you serve the crown. Now it's a day away, the war about to break. So grab a sword, pray the Lord and soldier take your place.
This is Taboo 7. It seems the establishment is again telegraphing lights out. One of the most recent warnings was the World Economic Forum warning of this lights out event. Also jumping this year, the year of the poly crisis.
The signs in the skies that magneto space failing. Extra solar flares, CME's prevailing. We in a time when the truth's unveiling. You better catch up fast and stop railing. And the coffins misdirecting nations. Flames and drive resisting temptations. Only way to move in Satan's haven. Again the 21's all about sustaining. The powers that be to continue reigning. So don't be mad when the appease are raining. The days are numbered, I hear the seas wailing. So from here on in it's strictly plain sailing. When the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down, when the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down.
motorcycle 25. We're entering the peak a little ahead of schedule. We don't want to see a Carrington event happen this day and age.
Ready or not, to keep your eyes to the skies with the signs being shown. It's now time to prepare for when the power's gone. Is it Chinese spy blues with Biggie showered from, or Carrington 2.0 powered on? There's many scenarios for what beckons when the countdown clock reaches the final second. Russian super nuclear to threaten till they letting them off like Corona massive engines. Science the weapon and choice they chosen, like classic as a vice, they cold and frozen. It's all lies, the world's not broken, but the countdown to 2030's not joking. When the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down, when the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down, when the ring goes down,
Much love,
you better
Eon.
be ready.
Legendary.
When the ring goes down, you better be ready.
We now have the actor Dennis Quaid reading from the script, giving out this warning. And he says that the election will go out up to 30 days. So that seems to be the window. They also state that people cannot survive without water, and that this too will shut down the water supply. How many people are paying attention?
Ready or not, pay attention, people to the lies they spin. When the grid goes down, was it planned by kings? I demand I sling and a rock to swing. So show respect, it don't cost a thing. Like shots that ring, people look for cover. When shit hits the fan, then people gon' suffer. The end's close, I can smell the sulfur. The grid's going down, one way or another.
Yeah, it's lights out like an EMP. Blood in the streets in the land of the free. It's all by design by the GOVERNMENT. Unless we getting hit by CME, there's really no telling when the moment it's gonna be. From the time that I spark, reject the mark. You better have a plan or get left in the dark. Yeah, from the time that I spark, reject the mark. You better have a plan or get left in the dark.
When the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down, when the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down, when the ring goes down, you better be ready. When the ring goes down, when the ring goes down, you better be ready.
Again, much love, Eon. Everybody.
Ready or not, ready or not, ready or not. Ready or not.
I spent a decade warning everybody about this event. We're on the doorstep of it. I'm warning you. They're telegraphing it again. So this is a repeated theme. Now they got one of their Hollywood goons out here reading from the script, warning, lights out is coming. It's like we can't trust anything going on out there. We've got to stay on top of things. Eyes to the skies, y'all.